Welcome to Fall Summit, a story-based podcast about tales, trails, and epic fails. I'm Octavia.
And I'm Em. For those of you just joining, we're going to bring you 2 stories and our thoughts on the tales. Ending with Trail Mix, where I'll bring you 3 songs, then Trail Etiquette and Other Shit done by Octavia.
Oh, thank you.
Or Tave.
Or
for
Tave.
Those that know her as Tave.
Yeah. For only people that I really like can call me Tave.
Oh my gosh, we've never done this. What are your pronouns?
She, her.
Great.
What are your pronouns?
They, them.
Oh my gosh. Surprise.
Shock.
Color me shocked.
Okay. Anyway, how are you doing today? How are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good, actually.
Great.
Although, have you heard about the crazy weather the South got last week?
You were telling me a bit about it, yeah. Like Tennessee?
Texas, Florida, Louisiana, they all got like inches of snow.
Wow.
Places that aren't used to snow are getting inches of snow and record temperatures. It's insane.
Yeah, well, weather has been weird lately, and it's a little scary.
It's just all over the place. Like with the wildfires in California, well, in LA, like wildfires in California aren't really that unusual. I just think that
the level,
the location is unusual because LA is not used to having the wildfire problem.
Right.
And there's a majority, like a lot of people live there. So it's like a very condensed area. So I think that's kind of why it's more notable right now. I mean, they always deal with the wildfire situation and it's always devastating, but it's usually devastating for like more rural areas or wildlife areas. I feel like this is more unusual, but
yeah, there was that funny video you sent me, or showed me rather, on TikTok.
Oh yeah, the snowstorm one.
Yeah,
yeah.
Where there was somebody. Where was he?
I think Louisiana.
Oh, Louisiana.
Yeah,
that's what I was trying to get at before.
Yeah,
instead of Tennessee.
Oh yeah, Louisiana.
Yeah. And it was like snowing outside, and there was only like a little bit on the ground.
It's like
and he was trying to scoop up like snowballs and throw them, and it wasn't working.
No, we got snow around that same time as them.
Yeah, I know, in New York,
which is normal.
Crazy. Oh, right. My bad.
But when I was a kid, we used to get snow, like feet of snow. It's normal. I mean, the past couple of years at least, we haven't been getting the amount that we're used to.
Right. But New York is notorious for having harsh winters typically.
Yeah, I mean, there's harsher. Maine, Vermont,
East Coast.
Yeah, East Coast
gets hit harder.
Yeah. But I don't know about Washington.
Yeah.
Like the state of Washington, because the state of Washington and New York are kind of on the same like band of upper America, upper US.
Right. But that reminds me, the other day I went to go pick up bagels.
Oh yeah.
And the guy in the shop saw that it was snowing outside.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, and mentioned that it was snowing outside. Like, yeah, no shit, Sherlock. But I just like made a comment like, oh, it's supposed to stop soon. I don't know if it was supposed to stop soon, but it felt good.
It's like makeup shit.
Yeah, roll with it it's for the bit.
It's for the bit. It's fine.
And he was like, oh, I wish it would stop permanently. And I was like, well, I guess you picked the wrong place to live then.
I don't understand. I mean, okay, sure, you don't like snow, then don't live here. Okay, sure, you were born here.
Born and shall die here.
No,
on this land.
If you don't like it here, leave, bro. Like, get out. Bye.
I don't like New York. I don't want to leave and go by.
What?
But
New York's the best state ever. I don't know what you're talking about.
I hate New York so much. There's so many better places to live in the world. I would live in New Mexico, Arizona.
They don't have
Montana.
Snow.
I would live in California. I would live in Seattle. I would live in Portland. I would live in Toronto if I could get citizenship. I would live in San Francisco. I would live in Italy. I would live in Greece. I would live in Greenland, Iceland, Finland, Paris, before I would live in New York. So
okay, well, okay. So great. Some of those places I would also live in.
Nashville.
But, sure.
Great.
You would live right in Nashville.
Yes.
Yep.
In the heart of Nashville.
In the heart of it.
Yep. Dolly World. I would live in Dolly World.
Yeah, I heard it was a little bit more commercialized than you'd like, more like, what's that place called people go to in Florida?
Universal Studios?
Yeah, like or Disney World or whatever. But I still want to go to Bollywood. I guess, okay, fine. I would live in some of those places as well. But I also like New York because we have all 4 seasons.
Great.
And New York City's really close, and you could go see a Broadway show whenever you want, and there's really good restaurants there, and there's the mountains, and the ocean's not that far away.
Wow. You are just a cup half full
I'm a galley.
gal.
Yeah.
Today.
Always.
Love that.
Have you met me?
Have I met you?
Yeah.
Once.
Once?
Yeah.
Oh, and then we started this podcast?
Yeah,
Oh
nice to see you again.
Yeah, we only see
How
each
have you
other.
been since last time?
Oh, yeah, good.
Good.
Yeah.
Cool.
Otherwise, we just don't see each other.
What's your sign?
Scorpio.
Cool.
What's your sign?
Pisces.
That explains so much.
It really does. So does yours.
Yeah.
But I just want to say that a lot of Pisces are not late February Pisces. They're March Pisces. Late February Pisces are rare.
I'm pretty sure that why would that be any more rare than any other sign?
It's one of the most rare.
Babies aren't being born in late February?
My birthday, February 22nd, is a rare birthday, just saying.
My friend's daughter's birthday is also February 22nd.
Congratulations to her.
So,
we both have a rare birthday.
Not that rare.
November 2nd is the most notorious birthday. And every single person that is born on that day
are nuts.
Have cocaine addictions. So
your mom has a cocaine addiction?
Have you met her? I would say the probability is high.
Yes, M's mom and I
you
share a birthday, which is so much fun.
You love it.
I like to have my own birthday all to myself. No one else is allowed to be born on the same day as me. Hilarious. No, thank you.
I think it's cute. That's funny.
It is sweet.
So sweet.
Anyway, on other news, we saw Nickel Boys the other day. I don't want to do any spoilers, but I thought it was really good.
I can't not give spoilers to that movie. It was
I don't want to give spoilers. I just want people to know how moving it was so that they will go and watch it.
Okay. So, premise, right? There's this kid, and he's, I would say, has limited financial means.
Yeah, systemically.
Systemically, and lives with his grandma. And really does well at school and is, academically inclined and interested in furthering his education. And then realizes that there's these free college courses that are being offered at a community college near him.
Yeah.
And really wants and is like on the track to be able to participate in those because of his,
because he's smart.
He's smart.
Yeah.
And gifted and whatever. But then, so he's about to go to these college classes and he needs a ride. So he hitches a ride with somebody who has happened to steal a car.
Yeah.
So he's in a stolen vehicle.
Yeah. It was in the 60s, right?
Yeah, I would say so. But how did you know that?
I remember from the movie, but also because the cars look like they were from the 60s-ish era.
Yeah. So there's a lot of racial tension happening. The main character is Black. And the driver of the stolen ar is also Black.
Yeah, and this is the same time like Martin Luther King was happening, like the speeches were being played. They had it there was a scene where they were playing it on like a record, one of his speeches. So, it was a tumultuous time in America.
So Elwood, who is the main character, is African American.
Right.
Right. Driver of the vehicle that is stolen is also African American.
Right.
White police officer comes up, lights ablazing.
Oh, yeah.
Pulls him over. And Elwood is doesn't know that this is a stolen vehicle.
Why would he? He was just hitchhiking. He got a ride with a friendly fella hoping to get to school to better educate himself.
Right.
Like,
and then gets arrested himself.
Yeah, because cops are idiots and are like, you're in the car, it's stolen, so you must be an accomplice and I'm gonna lock you away.
Yeah, and I still think that happens to a certain degree.
I agree.
It's by association.
Yeah, I agree.
And then Elwood is sent to this abusive reformatory school in Florida.
Yeah.
Called
Nickel
Academy. And, it starts off by, like, looking all right because they're driving in, and there's 2 other boys in the vehicle with
But they're white boys.
So they stop, and go to a certain part of the academy.
Because it's still segregated. Everything's still segregated.
Still segregated, yeah. Correct. And it looks it looks like a reformatory school. It looks like a boarding school.
Yeah.
And then the cop gets back in the vehicle and keeps driving to this further part of the place that's like all the way out in the yonder.
Yeah.
That the African American section. That is the African American section.
Yeah.
And it's a lot worse than the white section.
Which, I mean, is anyone surprised at this point that that is the history that we have created? Nope. But I don't think you should tell much more if you're gonna spoil it for people.
But I did want to say that it's I've now learned that it's been the movie was inspired by the Dozier School for Boys, which is a now closed Florida reform school notorious for its abusive treatment of students.
What year did it close in?
That I don't know.
Oh.
But now I'm gonna
find out. What year was it closed in?
When did Dozier School for Boys close? Oh, shit.
What does it say?
Florida's Dozier School for Boys, a true horror story. Over the past decade, hundreds of men have come forward to tell gruesome stories of abuse and terrible beatings they suffered at Florida's Dozier School for Boys, a notorious state-run institution that closed last year, so 2011.
Jesus.
Wait, after more than a century.
2011, is that when they dug it up and found all the
I don't know.
Things?
I'm gonna
maybe? Okay, keep going.
Known as the White House Boys, these 300-some men were sent as boys to the reform school in the small panhandle town of Mariana in the 1950s and 1960s. They have joined together over the years to tell their stories of the violence administered in a small building on the school's grounds they knew as the White House. Some 81 boys are known to have died there. Wow.
That's crazy.
But where their remains are buried is a mystery that researchers are now trying to solve. You didn't know when it was coming, says Jerry Cooper, who was sent to the school when he was 16. Those were not spankings, these were beatings, brutal beatings. Cooper is 67 now. He was sent to what at the time was called the Florida School for Boys in 1961. He'd been running away from home and hitchhiking when he was picked up by an AWOL Marine driving a stolen car.
Oh, that's the story.
There we go.
Yeah.
A county judge charged him with car theft and sent him to the school. Some of the kids like him were charged with crimes. Cooper says others were there for running away from home or because they didn't have families. A lot of orphans were there that did not have places at times, and they were sent to Mariana. They weren't there for any crime whatsoever, Cooper says, but we had many, many boys who were there for smoking in school that were incorrigible. We weren't bad kids. We might have needed help in some respect, but that wasn't the place to find it. I'll tell you that right now. The Dozier School for Boys had been known by several names. It opened in 1900 as the Florida State Reform School on 1,400 acres west of Tallahassee. Throughout its history, the school was known for its harsh conditions and brutal treatment. Over the years, a succession of reports and commissions called for reforms, but little changed. Cooper says he did his best to stay out of trouble, but after several weeks, he learned about the beatings firsthand. School staff got him out of bed at 2 a.m. one day and took him to the White House, where he says they threw him on a bed, tied his feet, and began beating him with a leather strap. The first blow lifted me 1.5 feet off that bed, Cooper recalls, and every time that strap would come down, you could hear the shuffle on the concrete because their shoes would slide, and you could hear the shoosh, shoosh, bam. Cooper passed out, but a boy in the next room later told him he counted 135 lashes.
Jesus Christ.
As incredible as it may sound, Cooper's story is not uncommon. There were dozens of White House boys with similar tales of beatings they received at the school. They The Florida's former governor, Charlie Crist, ordered a state investigation into the allegations of abuse, torture, and deaths alleged at the school. The Florida Department of Law Enforcement interviewed the White House boys and former staff, but said it couldn't find enough evidence to support the allegations. It all boils down to civil liability, said Roger Kaiser, a White House boy who helped form the group and who has written about his experience at the school in the late 1950s. They do not want anybody to be able to have factual evidence that would make them pay for these, what I consider to be crimes. There are just too many stories, Kaiser says. I know of one that I personally saw die in the bathtub that had been beaten half to death. I thought he'd been mauled by the dogs because I thought he had ran. I never did find out the true story on that. There was a boy I saw who was dead who came out of the dryer. They put him in one of those large dryers.
Jesus. You hear about these things, it's just absolutely barbaric.
Yeah.
But this movie was based off of a book. You read the book, right?
Yeah.
And then they turned it into a movie, and it's a true story.
Based on
a true story.
Because in the movie, the ending is different than
I
see. Said.
I see. Either way, it's this. I thought the cinematography was really good. I thought the acting was really good. I wouldn't be surprised if it won or it was nominated for this, that, or the other thing.
Yeah.
I thought they really did a really good job in respecting, what happened, but also telling the story that we should know, because we love to hide the bad things and only highlight the good things. There was a ton of reform schools around the whole country for centuries. It didn't start with this school.
I'm sure it happened at plenty of other places also.
They had those reform schools for the indigenous people to put children into, to teach them the Catholic, Christian, white, whatever, beat their traditions out of them schools.
Yeah. They had internment camps before that. They had
So it's not a new story, but it's a new story. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's a new variation on a tale as old as time.
Something that people have been doing for a long, long time, and it's awful. Each one you hear about is awful. But I thought the movie was really good.
Me too.
I think everybody should watch it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. Yeah, it's definitely worth a watch. It was probably one of my favorite movies I've seen as of late, and I was okay, so at the end, I'm crying.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it ended. And then, you know how like people usually, there's like movement right after a movie. Like,
oh, yeah.
Not even like 30 seconds later, people are like up out of their seats and like rushing to get out and like go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
No, there was like dead silence in that theater for a solid, I would say, minute and a half to 2 minutes.
At least 3 or 4 minutes, I would say.
We made it through the entire like end of with the trailer part with the music before anyone even moved.
Credits.
Yeah. That was wild.
It was wild. All right. Are you ready for story number 1?
I sure am. Oh my gosh.
That's going in.
Okay.
That's staying in the podcast.
So the first story is called Civics in the Wild. And the story content is submitted by Instagram user. Her name is Carrie Ann, and her Instagram handle is at hg.adventure.co. And she does have her own website, which is hgadventureco.com.
Thanks for the plug. Thanks, Carrie Ann.
So thank you, Carrie Ann, for this story, and I'm going to dive right in.
Yippee!
Because it's crazy.
It's insane.
This is one of the ones that was like, what the heck?
Yeah.
And then she actually submitted like follow-up photos.
Yeah, she has photos. So we're going to put that on the Instagram.
Yeah. All right. It was a warm summer weekend, the kind that begged for dusty boots, sunlit trails, and a crisp breeze cutting through the trees. I'd taken a group of beginner and first-time backpackers out on a 10-mile loop, hoping to instill a love for the great outdoors. We'd set up camp about 5.5 miles in, the usual chatter about gear, fire safety, and bear proofing echoing through the forest. The group was tired but exhilarated, their excitement palpable as we started arranging tents and unpacking dinner. That's when we heard it. At first, it was faint, an engine rumbling, tires crunching over dirt and gravel. For a moment, I thought my ears were playing tricks. But no, the sound was unmistakable. Then, out of the tree-lined horizon, there it was, a Honda Civic, rolling confidently down the single-track hiking trail.
What?
That is wild. Okay,
What?
what would you be thinking, Tave, if you saw a car on the trail?
What the actual hell is it happening right now? Are we in some kind of apocalyptic, you're trying to get away and all the roads are closed except for the trail? I don't
Are you
know.
envisioning like Mad Max Fury
Yeah,
Road
like
style?
Mad Max Fury Road style, exactly.
Yeah, like one of those big wheeled cars.
Well, this is if a Civic, if you put
Oh.
a Civic body on like a big on like giant tires.
Yeah,
sure.
Honda Civic, that makes it even weirder
Yeah,
because it's a tiny
front wheel
car.
drive. It's tiny car. It's front wheel drive.
It's a tiny vehicle.
I mean, I guess tiny vehicle will fit better on a trail.
I suppose, but also, who would ever think to take a car on that kind of terrain?
Nobody.
Besides a Jeep or like a truck, when there's like a path.
Crazy people.
Yeah.
A crazy people would. A crazy people?
A crazy people.
All crazy people.
All of those crazies would do something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, we digress.
I digress. Well, let's find out what kind of crazy people.
Let's do that.
Let's. You can't say that anymore. I'm just kidding. I don't know.
It's not fetch.
Not fetch.
Stop
make fetch happen.
It's not going to happen.
It's not gonna happen.
Okay, Gretchen Wieners. 2 for Gretchen Wieners.
Yeah.
4 for Glenn Coco. You go, Glenn Coco.
You've watched that movie too many times.
I love that movie so much.
I know, me too.
Also, the new version, the musical version of Mean Girls, sorry for the segue, it's decent. A lot of people say that it's really bad. And yes, it's a little corny. But the music is actually really good. And the one part where Regina George, first of all, so Renee Rapp is queer in real life.
Yeah.
So already I'm intrigued, right?
Correct.
That makes somebody so much more attractive.
Of course.
Their queerdom makes them so much more attractive.
Yeah, I don't want to talk to you if you're not queer.
Okay. But she's also like a typically femme pretty blonde.
Yeah.
And I do like femme
pretty blondes.
Sure.
Okay.
I like femme women.
Okay. Gotcha.
But there's this one scene where she is trying to win, you know, the infamous part in the movie version, like the original movie version.
Yeah.
Where Regina George is trying to steal back Aaron Samuels because she finds out that Katie Heron has a crush on Aaron Samuels, who Regina George used to date. Right. So Regina George is now jealously trying to win back Aaron Samuels, even though doesn't like him anymore.
Okay.
They broke up.
Yeah.
She cheated on him.
Yeah. I forgot about that part.
Yeah. So there's the scene in the musical where she's doing this at the party. And it's just like really good. Yeah.
I thought the dancing was fun.
I felt things.
Okay. Too many things.
Yeah. Too many things.
Yeah.
It would have been like had I been like 13 or 14, that would have been a sexual awakening moment.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We all have them.
We have them all. We have them all?
Do we have
moments.
them all? Okay, it's all downhill from here.
Yeah.
We've had them all. They will never happen again.
Yeah.
Great. Back to the story.
As we digress and sidebar a whole other thing.
Wow, I feel like we should start that story over.
No.
Okay. My group froze, mouths agape, unsure whether they were witnessing a glitch in reality or some elaborate YouTube prank. But there it was, headlights blazing, windows down, and inside was a gaggle of college students, their car packed up, burning with what could only be described as the contents of an entire dorm room. Pillows, laundry baskets, snack bags, an air fryer. What the
hell? What are they doing? Of course it's college kids.
Yeah. The Civic finally lurched to a stop a few hundred feet from our campsite. Out poured the students, chatting loudly, as if driving a sedan into the wilderness was the most natural thing in the world. They grabbed some food, a couple of water bottles, and what looked like a vape pen before ambling off into the woods without so much as a glance in our direction.
Where are they going?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Why did you leave this isn't a parking lot. You can't park your car here.
They, I would imagine, are not from around there.
Yeah.
Like, they're probably not used to the rural, like, camping or hiking. They're probably, like, city kids who are just like, "Oh, this is normal. This is how we camp."
Yeah, but also,
You just
like,
roll up.
it must be, like, a wide enough hiking path to
Yeah.
get a car up, but usually when you have those wider, hiking paths, they have the little bar thing across so that to prevent people from
Driving up it.
driving up it.
Yeah.
So, like, what did they jump it? Like, how did they, like, go around? Like,
Maybe.
what the heck?
Yeah.
That's insane. Also, college kids.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, and all they have is food, water, and weed. What else do we need besides food, water, and weed? That's essentials for life.
Food, water, and weed are the main essentials, I would say. You can survive without food and water. You cannot survive without weed. I'm telling you, as a college kid, like that's fact.
Facts.
That's fact.
Facts.
Or if you're the naked drummer, no, the naked drum guy from Woodstock.
Oh my God, the naked drum guy from Woodstock. Father Woodstock.
Father Woodstock, yeah.
I think I've told you this before,
Yes,
but
you have.
I will tell the listeners. I had a fun encounter with Father Woodstock, and if people who aren't from around here don't know who Father Woodstock is, he is a local Woodstock guy. He's very well known in the community as Father Woodstock. I don't know his real name. It doesn't matter. I was with my family. I think it was like twilight, and they were supposed to have like a full moon, and we were going out to see the full moon. And I don't know how I got myself into this situation, but we ended up hiking up to this drum circle that was happening in Woodstock, which only happens in Woodstock.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, yeah. I don't know why they thought it was a good idea. This was many years ago, but that's what happened. So we get to this drum circle, everything's fine. Father Woodstock is there, and all of a sudden, I see that Father Woodstock's he wears this like robe thing all the time, and his robe was not closed. And underneath, all he had on was his birthday suit. So I got to see.
So he's shaking his penis around.
Everything. And he gotta have been in like his 70s or 80s. He's like white beard.
He's probably not around anymore, I would imagine.
I would say, since this was probably 7 or 8 years ago, he could still be. Could be 90. If he was 80.
It was 7 or 8 years ago?
Yeah.
You went with Adriana?
Yeah. She was there. She was little.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was when you were younger.
No. She was, we were at my stepdad's house, and he lived up by the monastery at the time. And I was with my mom. Don't remember if Dan was there. Noah? I think Noah was there. And maybe Nels. I don't remember I'd have to ask my mom who was actually there. But yeah, I'm pretty sure she was there. Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah. Wasn't that long ago. Anyway, his entire robe was open. I saw everything. The moon was out, and we had a double moon that night, so that was fun. But yay, Father Woodstock. Gotta love him.
Do you mean double moon? Are you making a joke?
Obviously.
Oh, I get it.
1 moon, 2 moon.
I thought there was like a phenomenon called a double moon or something.
Well, there is when you have 2 moon. It's called a blue moon, and that means you have 2 moons in 1 month. 2 full moons in 1 month, but not on the same night, because that'd be weird.
Holy. Yeah, We digress. Okay.
So what's happening with our kids? What's happening with our crazy college kids in the woods? I'd love to know.
My group turned to me, eyes wide, waiting for some kind of explanation. All I could manage was, well, I didn't see that coming. A million questions swirled through my head. How did they even get here? Did they think this was a drive-through wilderness experience? Did they have a plan beyond park and vibe? As a leader, I knew I couldn't just leave them to their own devices. Last thing I needed was a stranded Civic or a headline reading, Lost Students Found After Vaping Near Bear Den. So I set off after them, managing to flag down a passing ranger along the way. It took some convincing, but with the ranger's help, we eventually corralled the group and escorted them back to their car. They seemed equal parts confused and impressed that they'd made it so far off the beaten path. With directions in hand and a stern warning about not driving cars on trails, they eventually turned around, weaving their Civic back through the trail like a determined but wildly misplaced mountain goat.
Question.
Uh-huh.
How would they have been able to turn the car around?
I just had to do, a K-turn, but a million.
A million K-turns?
Yeah, someone must have had been in the front, been in the back, just
they could have just backed out. And maybe that was just a turn of phrase turned around,
Maybe.
Could have been a turn of phrase and they just backed out. But can you imagine backing out? I don't know how far up on the trail they were.
Yeah.
They said 5 miles.
5 miles.
So backing up 5 miles? That's crazy.
Banana pants.
I don't know. Either the K-turn, million time K-turn, or they reversed the entire way.
Yeah. I don't think they were capable of that, though.
Right? They're stoned. They're hungry. They just want snacks. Come on. They're stoned. They're hungry. All they want to do is eat. They're munchies. They got the munchies. They don't want to be backing their car up 5 miles.
They want to eat their munchies. No, they want to satisfy their munchies with their Captain Crunchies.
Oh, but dork.
All right. When I returned to camp, I group burst into laughter as I recounted the tale, adding trail driving etiquette to our evening discussion topics. By the time the stars emerged, we were all swapping stories of unexpected trail encounters, from wayward raccoons to overly curious humans. In the end, that Civic wasn't just a car barreling down a hiking trail. It was a reminder that no matter how much you prepare, nature and people will always surprise you. And honestly, that's part of the adventure.
What? What? I love this kind of story because human interactions, I think, might be one of my favorite. They're wild.
And absurd.
Absurd. People are crazy.
Yeah. The things that people do
or say
or are
on anywhere in the world
or on drugs.
Oh my God, yes.
Even more so when they're on drugs.
Yes, I would like a story where you run into a group of people who are on drugs and just tripping in the woods.
We've had that.
Oh yeah, we did.
That was one of our first stories.
That was one of our first stories.
LSD in a revolver.
Yeah.
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 Are you saying that you want to encounter that?
No, I don't. I just want more stories like that.
Oh, heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, heard.
Oh my God. I've been saying that. It's so annoying. I work in a restaurant, just so everyone knows.
Yes.
And that's a phrase that we use a lot there.
Oh, heard?
Yeah. If somebody says something to you, it's just an easy way to say you understood and
okay.
acknowledge that you heard what they're saying. Just heard. But now whenever someone talks to me, yesterday when we were doing our front of house recap of the day, Corey said something or Eva said something or Chris said something, maybe all three of them. And I responded with heard.
Heard. Heard.
Heard. Corner.
Sharp.
Sharp. Behind.
For everyone.
Coming through.
For everyone.
Oh my God. Corey says this annoying thing called betwixt. I could die.
But it's a real thing.
I know, but it's annoying. Just say between or coming down the line. Not betwixt. And it's the way she says it. I'm sorry. Betwixt.
She doesn't see it. You can't make fun of the pregnant 40-year-old.
You're also 40 too.
I'm not pregnant. As far as I know.
Last time you checked.
Unless immaculate conception is a thing, there's no way I could be.
That is very
astute,
non-progressive of you. There's other ways for two people to have a child that's not just sex.
No, I haven't bought any on the black market or gone out and gotten it the natural way. So, yes, there's no way I could be pregnant, thank you.
Damn it.
Unless it's immaculate conception. But anyway.
We digress yet again.
Yet again. I love the story. Civics in the Wild is wild.
Wild.
It's wild. I'm sorry. Okay.
Can you imagine seeing headlights coming through the trees?
If it was
it's like Hogwarts.
Oh my God, yes.
But like not flying.
Oh, that's the really disappointing part of it.
Yeah.
Why isn't it flying?
But it could be when, he's going through the Forbidden Forest.
Yes.
And there's spiders all over the car. That's what's coming out of the woods.
Yes.
You're in the Forbidden Forest. You're a part of the Hogwarts experience.
Okay, I could get down with it if it's Hogwarts experience. Experience. Okay. Backing it up a bit. You're in college. You're an adolescent of some years.
Heard.
You said it again. Heard.
Okay, what? I'm an adolescent.
And you're like with your friends and you're like, let's go on an adventure. What do you think possessed them to be like, hey, let's drive our car up this path that people usually just walk on? Like, do they not know that you're not allowed to drive a car up there? Like,
obviously not.
How do you not know that? How do you grow to, let's say, 18, 19, 20, and not know that you cannot drive your car on a hiking trail?
Well, maybe they didn't know where the hiking trail started. Like maybe that bar that you're talking about that normally wasn't there.
Maybe.
And then they just kept driving because their car kept fitting. Like, why would you stop?
So if your car fits on the trail, you keep on driving.
Yeah, if there's no like indication where it starts, why would you know that?
Yeah, I guess. I just think they're ridiculous. Yeah. I love it. I love it so much.
Let's try it out.
I'm here for it. Let's go. Everybody drive their Civics on trails, please.
And see what happens.
Yeah. You never know.
And submit the story to us.
Yeah. Honestly, they're really lucky that they didn't get in more trouble.
For sure.
And that they didn't get their car stuck.
Yeah.
Or like, I don't know, like break down or like get a flat tire. It's not a regulated road, you know?
Right. It's not a regulated road.
Correct. So,
right.
Anyway, I really liked the story.
Me too. Thanks,
it was very fun.
On.
Story number 2
is called
The Silent Stalker.
Ooh.
What do you think it's going to be about?
Just based on the title alone.
Mm-hmm.
I would envision in my head, I am envisioning in my head, a man
or a
stalking.
Woman. It could be a woman, right?
No.
Women stalk. You don't think women stalk?
I know, but
men and women both stalk. They're equal stalkers.
They're equal stalkers. Great.
Yeah.
On the stock market.
On the stock market.
They have equal stocks. Equal trades in the stock market. No. But I do envision a person stalking another person.
Aha.
Yeah. So
all right. Well, we'll find out right now.
Great.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right. I've always been the kind of person to embrace the wild, the untamed, the places where civilization fades into nothingness, and you're left with nothing but the crunch of dirt underfoot and the vast sky above. But there was one thing that haunted me more than anything else in those wild spaces: mountain lions. They were a shadow in my mind, always there, lurking out of sight. The first encounter, I had seen signs of them, tracks in the dirt, scat on the trail, and those ominous little glances at distant cliffs, wondering if something was watching. What's your opinion on mountain lions? Like them?
I don't have much of an opinion.
Don't like them?
We don't really live in an area where we encounter a lot of mountain lions.
No.
And I don't think I've ever been in a space where I would potentially run into one. There was a movie I watched when I was younger. I always forget what it's called. Homeward Bound.
Oh, yeah.
Homeward Bound. Where, you know that one.
Yeah.
Right? Where the 2 dogs and the cat go on this adventure. They escape. They're trying to find their family, even though their family is coming back.
Yeah, it was one of my favorites.
They didn't know that.
It was definitely one of my favorites.
They thought they were abandoned by their family.
Yeah.
So they're trying to find them. So they escape. And then they do encounter a mountain
Come
lion.
on, Shadow, run!
Yeah. So, in that movie, porcupines were scary to me.
Yeah,
I think they had an encounter with a bear, I'm pretty
I'm
sure.
pretty sure, yeah.
But they definitely had one with a mountain lion.
Yeah.
And then the mountain lion went off onto a, like, cliff area, and then, like, went off, onto this log that was dangling off a cliff.
Oh, right.
And then one of them, the dog, like, came and jumped off a rock onto the other one and, like, seesawed the mountain
And it
lion
went
off
flying.
and landed in a lake.
Yeah. Which I'm sure she's fine. The mountain lion.
You could see it swimming off.
Yeah.
It was fine.
It was fine.
So that's
No
the
mountain
only.
lions were injured during the filming of this film. Yeah.
Although I've heard reports that you remember that movie Milo and Otis.
Yeah.
I've heard reports that there was actual animal abuse on the set.
Really?
Yeah, and that, like, they actually used animals in the dangerous scenarios, and they had to use multiple. Which one was Milo and which one was Otis?
I don't remember.
Whoever the cat was, either Milo or Otis, they had to either use multiple Milos or multiple Otises because
They
some of
kept
them.
dying?
Yeah.
I want to look that up.
Yeah.
That sounds wild.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
Uh-huh.
Well, I mean, I know people did insane, awful things like before PETA got involved.
Yeah. I mean, without PETA, there's no falafel.
I do like me a good pita with cheese, though. Yum.
Anywho.
Well, thank you for your opinions on mountain lions. I don't really have a lot of opinions on mountain lions either. I don't have any opinions.
Neither do I.
But neither do I. And after this, I might.
Right.
Yeah.
This is so annoying. I'm going to start saying this to the wrong people, and they're going to be like, what did that mean?
I'm pretty sure everybody knows what heard means. It means that you heard something.
Yeah. But like a border collie hurts.
It's not like you're saying, like, pizza or, like, falafel or, like,
filet mignon.
Shoe.
Shoe.
I don't know. Shoe.
Okay, I got it.
All right. At first, the fear was irrational. I knew it didn't make sense to be so terrified of something I could never see. But fear doesn't care about logic. It's a primal thing, no matter how many times I told myself it was unlikely I would ever actually encounter a mountain lion. It didn't help. When I hiked in areas where I knew lions were present, my every step felt like a dance with death. I would pick trails where they didn't frequent, consciously avoid areas where the terrain seemed too perfect for a predator to hide. And when I was alone, forget about it. I would jump at every snap of a twig.
That was so annoying. Oh my God. Forget about it.
I did it on purpose.
I know.
I knew you were going to say something.
Oh, I know.
Forget about it. I would jump at every snap of every rustle in the bushes. My heartbeat would race, my mind would spiral, and I'd tell myself to calm down. But I couldn't. The second encounter. In Big Sur, I encountered one. I was on a familiar trail, the rugged cliffs dropping steeply down to the Pacific below. It was late afternoon, the golden light spilling over everything, casting long shadows over the earth. I had been hiking for hours, lost in my thoughts, when something caught my eye down below. A movement. How much do you want to bet it's a mountain lion?
Based on where we're going with this story, I would say it's pretty inevitable.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
Let's see though. let us keep going. Yeah. I am waiting.
Yeah, a bated breath.
Yeah.
There, not far from the trail, emerging from the shadows of a ravine, was a massive mountain lion. Its coat was golden, its muscles rippling as it moved with a grace that was almost otherworldly. It was as if the entire mountain had come alive, its power so evident that it seemed to hum in the air. I froze. My heart should have been pounding with fear. My body should have been shouting at me to run, to get away. But something inside me changed. I just watched. I saw its body, sleek and powerful, its tail swaying lazily as it moved down the ravine. It was calm, deliberate, so sure of itself, and for the first time my fear didn't surge. Instead, it evaporated. The mountain lion was no longer an unknown, a creature that lived in my nightmares and flickered in the corners of my mind. It was real, right in front of me, and it was magnificent. That sounds really an incredible moment. How do you think you'd be feeling in this moment?
I think that I would be feeling terrified. They're huge from what I can gather. I know that they're huge. As the narrator had mentioned, they are powerful creatures and they're big. So I think I would be scared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But she's having this like moment with this creature, with this mountain lion that
Yeah.
seems like there must be like something that she's like not afraid of it in
Well, you
this
can be
moment.
terrified of something and have a moment at the
That's
same
true.
time, like realizing how magnificent a creature is, or
Yeah,
like, like the bison or
that's true.
the moose or like other encounters, like those things can be terrifying at the same time while still being awe-inspiring.
Yeah, that's true. Like, have you seen those pictures of like storm chasers? The storm chaser pictures?
Yeah,
Those are incredible, but those storms are scary AF.
right. And you're like driving right into it.
Why are you driving into it, you weirdo little storm chaser? But I'm glad they did because we wouldn't have those pictures because they're really cool pictures.
Indeed, they are.
Yeah, indeed. I didn't move for a long time, just standing there in awe, watching the creature slip out of view. Afterward, I couldn't help but feel something shift in me. The fear I had lived with for so long, the irrational, deep seated dread, was gone. I'd seen the lion, it had crossed my path, and it had done nothing. It was just another animal going about its life, unaware of the grip it had held on me for years. I hiked solo for 4 more years for that encounter, never once feeling that familiar weight of terror. I felt untouchable, as if the wild had revealed its secrets to me and now I was part of it. But as with all things, that peace did not last forever.
I was gonna say, like, yeah, like I understand that that might have been a cathartic moment for this narrator,
Mhm.
like a weight off their chest in a way.
Yeah.
But, like, let's not get crazy, like, if you still that doesn't mean that just because you had an okay interaction with one mountain lion,
Yeah.
doesn't mean that if you ever run into one again, it could not still do something to
Yeah.
you.
We'll learn more about mountain lions in our trail etiquette and other shit section of
I can't
today.
wait.
Yay.
Yay. As with all things, being awkward and, sarcastic is a defense mechanism.
Being this good looking is a crime.
Thank you. I was just gonna say, but, like, then I thought I might be mm, but yeah.
Thank you. A few years later, the third encounter happened. I
Mm.
was hiking in a remote area near a cliff's edge. Deep in the snow, the world around me was quiet except for the crunch of my boots. The snow was undisturbed, but there was something about the air, something in the stillness, that set off a warning in my mind. I felt eyes on me, like I was being watched from the shadows. I tried to dismiss it, but the feeling did not go away. Then, just ahead, I saw it. Fresh prints crossing the trail in front of me. My gut twisted. This was no place to be second guessing myself. So I turned around, I went back, telling myself I was being paranoid, that it was just my mind playing tricks. But as I retraced my steps, I found something that made my stomach drop. Fresh prints crossed directly over my own tracks. The fear came flooding back, more visceral now, the icy chill running down my spine. I turned and headed straight back down, heart racing, every nerve on edge. From the safety of my car, I could finally breathe. Later that month, the unthinkable happened. A local woman, not far from the trail I had been on, was killed by a mountain lion. It was the first fatal attack from a wild mountain lion in over a century in the state. The headlines blared. I had to cover the story for the paper, and as I went through the police reports, the coroner's notes, and the interviews of the people who knew her, it hit me harder than I expected. She could have been me. She absolutely could have been her. Do you think she dodged a bullet on that one? Follow the
Yes.
instincts.
And like I said, you should not get too comfortable in that feeling
Mhm.
of like, "Oh, it did nothing this one time." because animals are unpredictable. Wildlife is unpredictable. Humans are unpredictable.
Yeah.
Don't get too comfy in any situation. Be on high alert. Be a highly anxious human your whole life.
Okay.
And you'll be fine. It's never unpleasant.
This is a spokesperson for anxiety disorder. Everyone should have it. If you don't have it yet, you wouldn't
be killed.
You should get some. If you don't have anxiety yet, please sign up for our seminar on how to create your own anxiety.
That could be like a really good marketing scheme for me. I could teach people how to be anxious for a living.
Yeah.
And I would make a killing.
Yeah. It's your new enterprise.
Yeah. I'm the prophet of anxiety, all right?
Instead of alleviating people's anxiety, you just teach them how to have more.
Correct. Nothing wrong with that scenario.
Well, I think she listened to her instincts and she did not end up a snack chew toy for some mountain lion. So,
yeah.
So, anyway, she was just a woman out hiking alone, doing something she loved in a place I knew well. I couldn't shake the thought of how close I had come to a similar fate. My fear, which had been dormant for years, came rushing back, but this time it wasn't just the fear of the unknown, it was a reality, tangible and close. Now I avoid the area where she was killed. I can't help it. I know the fear is irrational, that most of the time mountain lions want nothing to do with humans, but every time I'm near that place, my heart races, my senses go on high alert. It's location-specific fear, like a switch flips the moment I'm near the area, and I can't make it stop. But despite all that, those 3 encounters with mountain lions are some of my most treasured backcountry memories. I wouldn't trade them for anything. The first time I saw one, the power of the grace that completely altered my perception of fear, I'll carry with me forever. The second, the thrill of knowing just how close I had come to danger, how the wilderness can be both beautiful and terrifying in equal measurement. And the third, the humbling reminder that no matter how much we try to control our fear, the wild is always there, reminding us of its power. Well, that's a mixture of sad and elation. I think that story, I feel bad for the woman that didn't make it out of the mountain lion encounter.
Me too.
That's sad.
That is really sad.
I wonder what happened when the other woman ran into the mountain lion. Like, what
was she injured? Like already? Like, did she twist an ankle and then like?
Yeah, like what provoked the mountain lion to attack? Because they're really rare.
Yeah. Was it like really hungry? Was it like she had food?
It is winter, so it could have been really hungry. Could have been really hungry and she had food. We're going to learn about a little bit of how to prevent mountain lion attacks in our trail etiquette, and so we can continue this conversation after that.
Cool. But I like the story.
I think it was a good one. I like hearing about mountain lions. We don't get a lot of mountain lion stories, so that was fun and sad.
It was bittersweet.
Bittersweet. That's a great way to put it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
On to Trail Mix.
Trail Mix.
All right, so as always, I will be bringing you 3 different songs from the perspective that you've never heard this song before. You might have, you may not have. If you have, revisit it. If you haven't, add it to a playlist. As always, on Patreon, there's additional content for you to check out and download additional songs. And, let me know what you like. What do you like to listen to?
Yeah.
What do you dig? What are you vibing to?
What are you vibing?
What do you listen to when you smoke?
What do you listen to when you take a bath?
Or toke?
Or drive?
Or sleep?
I don't think anyone listens to things when they sleep.
I sure do. I'm listening right now. My favorite thing to listen to is the Lord of the Rings sleep mix on Spotify. And it makes me have dreams of the Shire.
The Shire.
I am a hobbitses.
I'm a hobbitses.
I is.
I is a hobbitses.
And I live in the Shire.
Just don't ever try to do accents.
No.
No.
Okay. Anyway, to dive right in. First on the mix is Blood by the Middle East. Blood is one of those songs that feels more like a memory than a piece of music. It's soft and folky, with this emotional weight that sneaks up on you. The lyrics tell fragmented stories about family, love, loss, and all the complicated things that bind us together. There's something almost cinematic about it. You could be staring at an open field, and suddenly the song makes it feel like you're standing at the crossroads of every important decision you've ever made. I love when music, movies, pieces of art can do that. Like, it's wild to me how, like, you could be anywhere and that song comes on and you're like, holy shit.
Transported.
For real.
Yeah, me too.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, the acoustic guitar and delicate vocals just pull you in like a gentle nudge to sit with your feelings for a while. 2 is Space Song by Beach House. If music could float, Space Song would be drifting through the cosmos. It's dreamy, hypnotic, and drenched in nostalgia, like the soundtrack to a moment you didn't realize was important until much later. The synths shimmer and pulse, and the vocals feel like they're coming from another dimension. It's the kind of track that wraps you in its atmosphere, making you feel both infinite and heartbreakingly small. Beach House has a way of turning melancholy into something beautiful, and Space Song is a perfect example of that. It's not just a song, it's a vibe. Number 3, Hymnals by Grizzfolk. Hymnals is an anthem for open roads and big skies. It's got this indie rock edge with a hint of Americana, making it feel rugged and adventurous, but still polished. The driving beat and soaring vocals give it this energy that makes you want to keep moving, like the kind of song you play while watching the sun dip just below the horizon. Lyrically, it's about freedom and the things that hold us back, but the music itself feels like pure release. If you're ever in a long drive or a hike that's starting to wear you down, Hymnals will get you back on your feet. The end.
Well, thanks, Em.
You're welcome.
Thanks for those 3 songs. We will add them to our playlist, our Spotify.
For shizzle. Sorry. Yeah, for sure.
You're crazy. All right, you ready for trail etiquette and other shit?
I want to learn how to be safe around these great creatures that we call mountain lions.
Mountain lion safety tips for hikers.
So I'm going to get what
You are going to get what you asked for, yes. Understanding mountain lions is the first section of our trail etiquette and other shit. Mountain lions typically avoid humans. However, being aware of their behavior and knowing how to respond can be critical. Do I need to worry? 99.999999% of the time, no. But awareness and preparation are important for safety. Signs of mountain lion activity. Watch for these signs to know if a mountain lion might be nearby. Prey presence. Are there deer or sheep or other similar animals in the area? 2. Carcasses. Are there any fresh kills that might attract mountain lions in the area? Or tracks. Knowing what mountain lion tracks look like will help you identify if there are mountain lions in the area. How big are mountain lion tracks? Do you know how big they are?
No.
Mountain lion tracks are about 2 inches tall and 4 inches wide.
2 inches tall, so it's like this big.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that tall by like that big.
Yeah.
Okay.
There are no claw marks. So, like, you know how on bear prints, there you'll see like the little claw marks?
Yes.
Well, on mountain lions, you won't see the little nails.
Or like dogs.
Yeah, unlike dog tracks.
Because Orion has just like
the little nails, yeah.
It'll look like a cat paw, won't it? Just like a big cat paw?
It'll look like a big cat paw, yeah. All right. Another sign is scat. You'll see large scat resembling human feces. It's about the same size, which is crazy and sounds huge, but it may contain hair from its prey. And if it looks fresh, be more aware of your surroundings. If it looks a little bit older, they're probably not nearby at that moment, hopefully. But if you see any scat
that resembles human feces,
yeah,
either it's a hiker that pooped on the trail,
yep,
or it's a mountain.
Yeah, one or the other. But if there's any hair or like stuff in it, then
it's either somebody who has pica or a mountain lion.
Yeah, one or the other. So, exactly.
We're getting there.
All right. How to avoid a mountain lion encounter. Be noisy. Sing or talk loudly to deter them. Stay alert. If you see signs of activity, take extra precaution, i.e. bear spray or trekking poles. Hike smart. Stay in a group and avoid crouching or sitting, which makes you look like prey.
Okay, so don't pee or poop.
Why? Oh, yeah. You don't want to pee or poop while you're on the trail. If there's mountain lions about, they might think you're like a yummy snack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a way to go that would be.
I know.
With your pants down.
Oh, God. Can you imagine?
Pants around your ankles getting attacked by it.
Because they're really quiet, and they
Yeah.
could and they pounce.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't even know it's coming.
No.
It'd be like claws at the throat, done. You don't even know what's happening. It's not like a bear where you can hear it coming.
That's scary.
Yeah.
Okay.
Supervise children and pets. Keep kids close and dogs leashed to avoid attracting mountain lions. What to do if you encounter a mountain lion. Do not run or turn your back. Running signals you are prey. You do not want to be prey. You want to be hunter. No prey.
Me hunter.
Me hunter.
Me no prey.
Act big and scary. Raise hands, trekking poles, or a pack above your head so you can look as big as you possibly can, because they are like, they'll see you and be like, maybe that's too much trouble. Make loud noises. Use an air horn if available. So M just emulated an air horn.
And Hobbs jumped out of his skin.
Avoid antagonizing or cornering the animal.
Why would you ever
Why
do
would
that?
you do that? People do, though. They're like, ooh, fuzzy cat. Let me go play with you. And the cat's like, may tear out your jugular and eat your insides.
Slaughter.
Yum.
One and done.
It's like, oh, that's a nice liver you got there. Can I have some?
Sure.
Yummy.
Okay.
All right. Carry tools. Bear spray can effectively deter a mountain lion. Bear spray has multiple uses. I feel like everyone needs to have bear spray.
Yeah, you can use it for bear. You can use it for men. You can use it for mountain lions.
Yeah. Or like maybe rabid dogs.
Or
coyotes.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or
bald eagles.
Or raccoons that are also rabid.
Oh, a rabid raccoon. A pack of rabid raccoons.
Coming at you.
Yes, I've heard of those rabid
or
raccoon
the beavers.
packs.
But not like normal beavers, the one that are in the hundreds of beavers.
Yeah.
The ones that are in full men dressed up in beaver suits.
Yeah, the attack beavers.
Yeah, attack
You've
beavers.
heard of attack
with
beavers.
X eyes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wait, don't X eyes mean they're dead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're still walking.
So they're the Walking Dead X-eye beavers?
Yeah. They're zombie beavers. Okay.
All right. How to respond to a mountain lion attack. If a mountain lion attacks, fight back. Makes sense. Use anything available. Rocks, sticks, knives, trekking poles, or your fists. Aim for the head, especially the eyes. Sounds really dramatic. Use bear spray. Spray directly into its face. Survive. Thank you. That's a tip that I needed. Stay focused on fighting until the mountain lion retreats. So please survive if you're attacked by a mountain lion.
Oh my God.
If someone else is attacked, assist by attacking the mountain lion to scare it off. Because instead of watching the show, you should help, basically. Don't just watch your friend get eaten by a mountain lion. Try to scare it away. Remember, mountain lions are rarely a threat. Mountain lion attacks on humans are extremely rare, with only 14 verified attacks in California between 1986 and 2014. With awareness and preparation, you can safely enjoy the outdoors.
Amazing.
That's what I got for you. Stay safe with your mountain lion friends out there in the areas of the world where they have mountain lions, which I think is the West Coast a little bit more. Yeah. Like the deserts and the mountains, they have mountain lions.
I don't think there are mountain lions in the desert.
No, they said it in one of the articles I read.
They did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Heard. You like my trail etiquette and other shit, Em?
I sure did.
If you go out to the West Coast and run into a mountain lion, do you know what you're going to do?
I am going to survive.
Yeah, that's number one.
Got out of that.
Survive. Punch and kick. Well, first of all,
my pot with a spoon is looking a lot better.
Bring your pot and spoon.
Yeah.
You
clink,
raise it
clink,
over your
clink,
head,
clink,
and
clink.
you can like
the monkey with
the tambourine monkey. That could be a reel. All right, so recap.
Yep.
What was your favorite story?
I really liked the car.
Yeah, me too.
I really liked the Honda Civic one.
The Honda Civic one. It was just so stupid and ridiculous, and I loved it so
and hilarious.
much.
And of course, it was a group of college stoners.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course. But
Why wouldn't it be?
I want to hold space for the mountain lion as well because I picked that story out. So
okay. Well, I appreciate the story that was submitted by Carrie Ann.
Yeah.
I really do appreciate that. Keep those stories coming in. We love hearing from you guys. We love getting the bulk of our stories from Instagram submissions. And as always, there are links in our show notes.
Yes, there are links in our show notes, as always.
Yeah, for things that we discussed on the show.
Yeah, except for when I forget to put them in and then they're not there.
Okay, but then you edit that and then we do have them again.
Yeah, it's true.
Correct?
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Say yes.
Yes.
As always, follow us on Patreon. We have a bunch of new bonus episodes. We have a bunch of playlists going on. Check it out. Check us out. Go to our merch store. Go to our merch store and check us out even further. And then check out your cart.
Yep. Don't forget to check out your cart. Otherwise, you won't receive your merch.
Yep. Put in your credit card information.
Yep. It is secure and safe to put your credit card information in.
Why would you say that? That makes it sound like it's not. You freak. Don't say that. But anyway, secure. we have track pants. We have sneakers. We have fanny packs.
We have hats.
We have hats. We have a variation of hats.
Yeah.
We have joggers. We have track pants. That's the same thing. We have shirts. We have sweatshirts. We have
the new
crop tops.
We have the new Don't Fall Off a Cliff shirt.
We have new Don't Fall Off a Cliff sweatshirts and shirts.
Yes.
We also have stickers. We also have water bottles. We also have journals.
We're also going to go to sleep now.
Yeah. Good night. Actually, no. We are going out to dinner.
Yeah, we're going to
have date night.
Date night.
At a really nice Indian restaurant that we love. Do you remember when we went on a date there when we were first starting to date?
Yeah.
And you filled the entire table with food.
Yeah.
And I knew exactly what I was getting myself into.
Yeah. And you were like, wow,
this girl can fucking house it. And then you specifically asked for a bunch of things that weren't on the menu.
Because I know I've been there a million times and they know me.
You're a celebrity. And I knew that you were going to be high maintenance. And
Not high maintenance.
You used to be more high maintenance than you are now.
I've chilled out.
Yeah, you've chilled.
I'm like a fine wine.
You're getting better with age.
Yeah. And I would like a martini at dinner too, please.
I don't think they do those.
They have a bar.
Yeah, but the bartender's very...
Well, then I want a mojito.
I'm getting also a martini.
Okay.
Anyway, that's it from us crazy folks here at Fall Summit, where every mountain is just one more almost there.
And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please rate, review, and subscribe. And if you didn't enjoy it, well, that's your epic fail for the week.
But if you've got any questions, stories, or trail fails of your own, hit us up. Email us at fallsummit.pod@gmail.com or fallsummit.pod on Instagram.
And now we are Fall Summit on YouTube, and TikTok.
I don't know how I feel about that. Harana might be going off of TikTok.
Why?
Because of its affiliation with all things political.
Yeah,
so
I get that.
We have some discussing to do on that.
Yeah.
There's also another platform called Blue Sky, which I'm interested to check out.
I've never heard of it.
Let's check it out, because all the cool kids are going over there instead of siding with the fascists.
Blue Sky. Sounds like a government project.
It's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
Well,
so moral of the story is don't be a fascist.
Don't be a fascist. And we will be back next week.
Don't be Donald Trump.
And we will be back next week with more tales of misadventures and questionable decisions. Until then, happy trails.
We love you, Gaza.
And don't fall off a cliff.
See
you out there.